welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Thursday and it's time for a Magic Stuff. And today I'm going to be doing a video, and this has been the most requested video of the last 3 or 4 months, and it's all about your everyday carry. What tricks or routines or effects can you carry around with you on a day-to-day basis when you aren't gigging that you can perform impromptu at the drop of a hat? This is a subject that's really, really important in my opinion. And on this video, I'm going to start off by talking to you why it's so important, the criteria for the list, and then I'm going to break down all 11 routines, because I'm going to be going through 11 different routines on this video, and I'm going to perform each one of the 11 routines. So if you've ever struggled about what to do when you're out and about, what you should carry around with you, what shouldn't you carry around with you, how does this all work? Well, this right now is the video that you need to watch. Let's get going. So first of all, why is it important to have tricks with you that you can carry around and perform at the drop of the hat? Why do that? Why bother, right? You don't see a plumber, a professional plumber, carrying a wrench around with them. So why would you do this? Well, let me explain. One of my pet hates, and I've talked about this on the channel before, but one of my pet hates, one of the things I really hate, is when you hear people going, you hear magicians go, oh, I haven't got anything on me, in reply to the question of a layman, can you show me some magic? So let's say people know you're a magician. You've gone out to a party, you've gone out somewhere, you've gone out shopping, somebody recognizes you and they go, hey, you're a magician, show me a trick. I hate it when I hear magicians say, I haven't got anything on me, because that just says that you aren't the magician. You aren't the magic. The magic is not in you. The magic is in your props, and anybody could do it. As long as the people had access to your props, then they could do it as well. I believe that you should always be able to do magic anytime, anywhere. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be a performing monkey. If you choose not to perform to that person, if you're busy, let's just say you're in the middle of a shop in the supermarket and you haven't got time, and you know that person's going to need to understand. But I can't tell you the amount of gigs that I've secured from somebody recognizing me from somewhere or from another gig or social media or whatever and saying, oh, you're the magician, can you do a trick for me? I end up doing like 3 or 4 tricks. Other people are watching, people ask for the business card, and before you know it, you've got an absolute ton of magic that you've shown people, and I've had so many bookings off the back of it. I think it's really important to be able to do magic out and about anytime, anywhere. That's why I think this video is so important. Now, let me talk to you about the criteria, because technically, if you always carried a deck of cards around with you, then you're always set up to do magic, right? Because you can pull out the cards and you can do a card trick anytime, anywhere. You can probably do 1,000 card tricks. But I don't always carry a pack of cards around with me. A lot of the time, unless I'm at a gig, I don't have a pack of cards on me. It's a running joke with some of my friends like Nemid Phoenix that, I'll meet up with him for a coffee or something, or we'll go out for a meal, and he'll say, hey, can you show me something? And I'm like, yeah, can I borrow your cards? Because I just don't carry cards around with me. It's not something I carry. I don't carry coins around with me. I don't carry gimmicked stuff around with me. But I do carry an absolute load of stuff with me that could enable me to do a half-an-hour act anytime, anywhere. So the criteria for this video is it has to be something that's organic. And what I mean by organic is it's not really organic pulling out a pack of cards, because who carries a pack of cards around with them? Unless you're a magician or potentially maybe a gambler, who carries a pack of cards around with them? I like to give, if somebody catches me out and about and asks me to show them some magic, I like to almost have this kind of impromptu feel of, well, what have I got? Okay, let's try something with this. I prefer that than going, yes, no problem, I have a pack of cards, I also have my magic wands, and look over here, I have a fluffy bunny rabbit. Hey, let's do this. I like it to appear organic. So the criteria of this video is the routines that I'm showcasing to you, they have to have an organic feel, like the sort of thing that you would carry around with you anyway. The other thing is I'm avoiding business cards. I always carry business cards around with me, but the subject of magic with business cards is a completely separate subject. And I am doing a video on that. I'm doing a couple of videos on magic with business cards as well. So that's a separate thing. So I'm not going to be doing anything with business cards, even though part of my everyday carry is business cards. There's going to be no routines of business cards on here. And also, I'm not going to be talking about impromptu tricks. What do I mean by impromptu tricks? You know, like, for example, half of the coffee conjuring series by Greg Wilson, where you can literally be in a coffee shop and you can get a stirrer and a coffee bag, and you can start doing magic with all of the stuff that you find around. Impromptu magic that you can do anytime, anywhere. Hey, lend me some coins, I'm going to show something for you. Hey, can I borrow your credit card? Anything like that, I'm not including as well. I am doing a video in the future on impromptu magic that literally requires nothing on you, but that is not a video that we're going to be doing right now. That's going to be a video for the future. So I'm not covering impromptu magic either. These are all props that you can buy, that you can incorporate into your everyday carry that won't feel out of place, that enables you to literally do a half-an-hour act. The one other thing that I'm not going to include is routines with my tattoos. I've talked about my tattoos on the channel before. Each one of these tattoos are designed to do a magic trick. So I could literally do a 25-minute act naked. Nobody would want to see that. But the point I'm trying to make is I could literally do an act without having anything on me. But again, I'm not going to be talking about their tattoos because not everybody has these tattoos. I think I'm the only person in the world that has these tattoos. So that's the criteria. The point I think that I'm trying to make right here is you can do so much. I get so many comments on this channel, so many messages, and people say, hey, I can't think of what to do. If I haven't got my props on me, I can't think of what to do. Well, just with the business cards, just with the tattoos, just impromptu, you can probably do an hour's worth of material that's really, really strong, but we're discounting all of that. Now, this will be the first of 2 videos because although I'm presenting 11 routines on this video for you, there are probably about another 11 that I could do as well. I haven't even touched on some of my older tricks like love cards and a whole bunch of other stuff that would also make up an everyday carry. But I'm gonna break it into two lists. I'm gonna break it up into 2 videos. This is the first video. I'll do another video down the line. So now set the criteria. Now you know why it's important to have stuff with you that you can do anytime, anywhere. Whether you're an amateur, a hobbyist, or a professional, you know what's going on. Let's start with the list and let's look at it. Here we go. Okay, so the first 3 routines that I'm going to be going through with you all involve using your keys. When I think about my everyday carry and what tricks I'm going to carry around with me when I'm out and about, right? There's 3 different locations of where I can use props. There's my keys, there's my wallet, and there's my phone. Because I'm always going to have my phone on me. I'm always going to have my keys on me. And I'm always going to have my wallet on me. Those are the 3 things that I don't leave the house without. So the first 3 routines that I'm going to be presenting for you here today involve your keys. And I do 3 routines on my keychain. I actually do a few more, but we'll talk about that on a future video. But the 3 routines that I have, that I'm talking to you about right now, that are sitting on my keychain all of the time, and they are good to go. And the first one is Keymaster. Now, Keymaster is a routine that I bought out probably a decade ago now. And it was originally based on Holy Moly. Now, if you know Holy Moly by Jay Sankey, it's the idea of having 2 washers, and you show 2 washers. Somebody holds onto one washer, you take the hole off the other washer, and it goes into the washer the spectator's holding. It's a fantastic trick. It's a classic for a reason. My problem with Holy Moly, it was over too quickly. It was only 1 phase. I do like multi-phased magic. And my other problem with Holy Moly is who carries a washer around with you. It's not an organic thing. Unless you've got a residency in a B&Q or in a tool shop or something like that, it's not an organic thing to carry around with you. So I bought out Keymaster, which extended it to 2 phases. And the whole idea is you show 2 keys, somebody holds onto 1 key, you show the other key, you pull the hole off that key, and it appears on the key in their hand. And then you go, well, let's see if we can get the hole back off. And you show that this key has got no hole on it. They hold onto it. You take the key with 2 holes. You pull the hole off. You put it on their hand, and the kicker is it goes onto the stem of the key. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that I do with Keymaster. I've actually got like a 20-minute routine that I do with Keymaster. It starts with that, then it goes into Gatekeeper, then it goes into a serial divination, then it goes into a hole moving onto the bill, then it goes into like a ring and string routine with keys. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that I actually do with Keymaster that extends it to about a 20-minute act. And I'll share that with you one day. But for now, I'm just going to share with you the main Keymaster routine. Now, I'm going to show you a performance of me performing it. This is quite old footage, so this is from a little while ago, but it's live footage. So I wanted you to see this done live, and this is a great video to showcase to you because it is a live video of me performing this live at an actual gig. So you can see the choreography of what key goes where and what happens where. So this is the main Keymaster routine. There's a lot more you can do with it, but this is the main Keymaster routine. Let's have a look at that right now.
Really good. Okay. Right, couple of tricks. What's your name again? Liz. Right, Liz, this is called the 2-key trick. Do you have any idea why it's called the 2-key trick? I've seen it before. Okay. Nice. Let's use 2 keys. Now, what I would like you to do, Liz, I want you to hold on to this key. You've got to squeeze it tightly. Can you do that? Yeah. Hold your hand out for me. And squeeze and turn your hand over. That's very good. Look at this, the knuckles are turning white. It's like, you're not going to get me, magic boy. I'm watching every move you make. Now I have another key. Sir, you're the skeptic of the group. Have a look at that key. Be honest with me. Tell me if you see anything weird about it.
No, it's good.
You know what? Most people don't notice, but it's not to touch. This is called a key blank. You go to Timpson's and you get something called a key blank. Now, the trick is not with the key. The trick is with the hole. Watch. 1, 2, 3. You can take the hole. Hold that hole for me there, sir. Don't hold it. Now, what I want you to do, on 3, I want you to throw it right down to her hand. Come closer. On 3. 1, 2, 3. That was great pantomime. I love that, by the way. That was awesome. That was amazing. Did you feel it? You had the key the whole time.
Yeah.
The hole is gone. It's got to go somewhere. Turn your hand over, open it up. Right?
Amazing!
I love the look at your face. You look like a rabbit caught in headlights. Now, the hard part is getting it back on the key, because before I didn't tell you what was going to happen. Now I'm telling you it's going to go back on this key. First of all, have a feel of the key. Do you feel a hole there?
No.
He's just like, what's going on? Right, what I want you to do is squeeze the key tight. The spare hole. And the reason I've got to do it is because if I don't, it won't go back on the key fob. Can you hold the key fob for me, sir? Hold that. Watch. Like this. What you got to do is you got to slide it down the step. It's gone. And off the end. It's really gone, right? Hold it. If I do this, if I snap, if it was back on the key, would that be good?
Yeah.
But that would be a trick. I want to show you a miracle. My job as a magician is to create the impossible. My job as a magician is to do something you have never seen before and you will never see again. So putting the key back on the head, that would be good. But if I could actually take the hole and put it on the stem, where you've never seen a hole before, that would be an impossible object.
Right, yeah.
Turn your hand over and open it up. And look at the stem.
Oh!
It's broke. Come on, Dave.
You're so confused.
I haven't had a drink today. But
No,
this is,
look, my hand doesn't move. You can see how tightly I was holding it.
Let me just. The thing is, you can't have a key like that. Let me just. I'll put it back down there.
Oh my gosh!
So that's Keymaster. The advantage of this is the keys are just on your keychain. In fact, the keys in Keymaster that I have on my keychain are actually the keys to my house. When I released Keymaster, I made them key blanks, an uncut key. And the reason I did that is because rather than supplying you with a key that could unlock anything, my thought process behind this is if I give you a key blank, you can go to a key cutters or a key shop and you can have that key cut to your own house key. So the gimmicks for Keymaster become the key to your house. And let's be honest, you're never going to leave your house without taking your keys with you. So that was the reasoning behind actually supplying blanks with Keymaster. And if you catch me out and about and you look at my keys, you'll see I've got the Keymaster gimmicks there, and that's actually my house key. It's an incredible routine because it feels impromptu. You just take the keys off the keychain and you're good to go. And it's an instant reset as well. The magic happens in the spectator's hands, although it doesn't have to with COVID these days. You can actually do it back here and it'll still work just as well. And it's a really powerful routine. It's a routine that I do in my close-up set all of the time. And I think that's important. When you do routines that you're going to carry around with you, don't compromise on quality, because a lot of the time, if you do an impromptu act right, it could lead to more work. I've talked about that earlier on this video. So you don't want to compromise quality. You don't want to be doing routines on there that are substandard just because they fit with your everyday carry. And that's my main criteria when I take routines out as part of my everyday carry. They have to be just as good as any other routine in my act. And Keymaster is something that I put in my act all of the time. It's something I perform walk around, I perform tables. It's an incredible routine, but it also fits really nicely on the keychain. So the first routine that it fits into your everyday carry is Keymaster. Now let's look at the second routine that I keep on my keys as well. So the second routine that I always keep on my keychain is Ignition by Chris Smith, Ignition by Magic Smith. And if you don't know what Ignition is, I did mention it on a review show a little while ago. Ignition is a key through bill. For me, it's the best bill penetration routine you will ever see. It's an extension of John Cornelius's pen through bill, but done with a completely different method. The nice thing about this, compared to other routines that have come out recently, like Keynote by the other brothers, the nice thing about this is it literally lives on your key, on your keychain. So you've got this one key on your keychain. When you want to do the routine, you just take the key off, you give it them for examination, they lend you a bill, any denomination, any country, anytime, anywhere. You take the bill and boom, you do the key through the bill, and it looks incredible. It really does. The advantage of Ignition, there's a couple of advantages. First of all, the key can be examined before, it can be examined afterwards. Second of all, when you do this penetration, they can see the key. They can see everything. You come straight down and you can see everything. You can show both sides, which is amazing. But now this is the really beautiful moment. When you pull the key out, you can immediately give the key out to them to examine. No switches. Normally with any other routine, with pen through bill or anything, you have to do something. You either have to switch the pen or you have to eliminate a gimmick or something. But with this, it goes through, it comes out, you hand it out for examination, you're good to go. It's that clean. Let's have a look at a quick performance of Ignition right now. Right, so we have a £20 note that Sarah has just lent me. Thank you very much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And as well as that, I have my my key. Can you do me a favour, Sarah? Have a look at the key. Check it out. Make sure it's okay. Make sure it is what it appears to be. A real key. Is it good?
Yep.
Good stuff. Now, I'm going to create an illusion with the key and the note. I want you to watch the note, watch the key. Do not blink. It's going to happen around about there. Try not to freak out. This is not real. It's going to look real. It's not real. Here we go. 1. Nothing happens on 1. 2, nothing happens on 2, but on 3, that's when I can push, and I can push that key. Check it out, look, right through the notes. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Are you freaking out? You shouldn't be, because it's only an illusion. You see, if I take the key out, you can see that there's no hole in the note. The note is completely unharmed. There's the note, there's the key. You can examine everything. So that's Ignition. The other nice thing about Ignition is it is an instant reset. So once you've done Ignition, all you have to do is take the key, put it back on your keychain, and you reset, ready to go again. The actual download for it has 3 different handlings, including a handling that is almost self-working. So it's a very easy routine to do. But again, it fits. One thing that I want you to understand about my everyday carry is I almost treat what I have carried around with me as an act. So I don't want to be prepared to just do a quick trick here and do a quick trick there. I want to be able to be caught out and about and be able to do like a 20-minute act with just stuff that I've got on me. I do a lot of business networking events. It's one of the reasons that I grew my business so successfully, because I go to a lot of business networking events. When you go to a lot of business networking events, you'll ultimately have people, because you're promoting yourself as a magician, you'll have people going, hey, can you show me a trick? And it's nice to be able to do impromptu magic there, right? So That's what this act is designed to do. It's designed to flow the different routines together. So in this case, you can go from Keymaster, and then after Keymaster, you can put the keys back on the fob and go, actually, let me try one more thing. I think I need a slightly bigger key. I'll use this one. Have you got a bill I can borrow? Have you got a note I can borrow? Brian, you grab the note. I'll grab the key. Brilliant. Let's try it. Can you have a look at that key? Check it out. Make sure it's okay. Can you pass me the bill? Boom. Done. So you can routine from one routine to the other very, very easily. And the nice thing about both Keymaster and Ignition is they're both very visual magic tricks, which is really, really cool. Now, the final routine I'm going to talk about with keys is not a magic trick. It's more of a mentalism item, but it is so incredibly strong. Let's have a look at that right now. Okay, so the final thing that I keep on my keys is something called the RD Cube Mini by Pro Mystic. Now, this is not a cheap item. This is actually something that's quite expensive, but it's something that I carry around with me, and I do not just in gigs, but I also do this out and about, everywhere. Like I do this everywhere, and I can present this in several different ways. This particular prop gives me options because I can present it as just a really quick divination, or I can present it as a longer routine. And what it is, if you don't know what it is it's a key fob that looks like a mini Rubik's Cube. Now, this is great for me because it allows me to talk about how I do Rubik's Cube magic. Because it's a subject that comes up very, very quickly. When you've got a Rubik's Cube tattooed on your arm, people kind of take that creative leap immediately. But it allows me to talk about Rubik's Cube magic, and hey, I do a lot of magic with Rubik's Cubes. This is a mini Rubik's Cube. You can't mix it, but let me show you something that you can do with this. And what the RD Cube Mini is basically is it's a transmitter. It's a very well-made Pro Mystic transmitter, so that when they put it down in their hand or they put it on the table, you will know using a receiver which is pointing up. You'll know using a receiver which color is pointing up. Out of the 6 colors, you'll know immediately which color is pointing up, if that kind of makes sense. And you can do it over and over again. It's completely hands-off. You can even be standing at the other end of the room. The range is absolutely amazing. And you just get the you get the reading on a thumper, on a receiver, Pro Mystic receiver. Now, I know what you're saying. You're thinking, well, Craig, that's all well and good, but that's not really walk around, is it? That's not really impromptu everyday carry, because you've got to carry a receiver around with you. And yes, you are correct, other than the fact that Pro Mystic actually sell a special receiver that's designed to look like a key fob. So you can actually put that key fob on your keys, and you can literally just press the button in the middle to switch it on, and it looks just like a normal key fob. You can literally hold the keys in your hand, which looks fine because you've just took the key fob, you just took this thing off the key fob, you give it them, you're holding the keys. You might not want to put the keys down, you're holding the keys. Or you can put the keys in your pocket and just keep your hand in your pocket. It doesn't really matter. But it's not a separate receiver. The receiver is the key fob on my keys. And that's what gives me the impression. Now, like I say, I can do this in one of several ways. This is a trick that really stands repetition well. And what I mean by that is you can just do a thing where you say, hey, take this Rubik's Cube, pick what color you want to have go up, cover it up with your hands. Have you done that? You have? Brilliant. Okay, and you tell them the color, and you can do it again and again. And the final time, don't even have a look at the color. Just put it down without looking at it. You don't know what color it is, do you? And you tell them the color. That's one way you can do it. I tend to go down the route of doing a longer presentation with it, which is based on something my friend Steve Della does. And I'll perform that for you. So I'll perform the longer version of this that I do when I'm out and about. And it involves me writing something down ahead of time. So although I'm not talking about business cards, I typically would write this on a business card. So this little prediction-y thing that I write down at the beginning, I'd write it on a business card. If I haven't got a business card on me, I'd either borrow a piece of paper, I'd write it on the back of a receipt, or I'd write it on the back of a napkin or something like that. But there's lots of different options. I'll show you that routine right now. Okay, so I've got Sarah behind the camera. Hey Sarah, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. Sarah, I've got this key fob. You know I'm into Rubik's Cubes. This is like a key fob of a Rubik's Cube. Now, we're using this Rubik's Cube not really to try and solve it. It doesn't turn, so that's impossible. But we're going to be thinking about the colours on this Rubik's Cube. Because on a Rubik's Cube, there's 6 colours. There's red, there's yellow, there's orange, there's white, there's blue, and there's green. 6 colours in total. What I want you to do is take that for me, if you could. If you could pick that up, that'd be great. And also, I want you to see that I've got a prediction here. I'm going to put on the back of my business card. I'm going to put that down there, and we're going to get back to that a little bit later on. Now, I'm going to turn around. What I want you to do, Sarah, is hold the Rubik's Cube in your hand so that I want you to think of a colour, basically.
Okay.
The colour you're thinking of, have that pointing up, and then hold it in between your hands so I can't see.
So any colour?
Any colour.
Right.
And then when it's in between your hands, tell me and I'll turn back round.
Yep.
Okay, now there's no gaps in between your fingers. I can't see that colour, right?
No, I don't
now what
think
we're going to do, what I want you to do, is we're going to assign each colour to a name. So don't say anything out loud, but I'm going to tell you what name is each colour. So we're going to go with, we're going to go with Sarah is going to be yellow. We're going to go with Thea is going to be, we'll go with John. John is going to be red. Craig is going to be white. Thea is going to be yellow. Freddie is going to be green. And Boris is going to be blue. So now you're thinking of a name, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Concentrate on the name. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got the name and the colour. To be honest, I was struggling with the colour, but when you started thinking of the name, I got it. You're thinking of John, aren't you? You're thinking of red.
Yes.
Is that right? You're thinking of Red and John?
It is.
Okay, awesome. Now, maybe that was a bit of a fluke. So let's do this again. Pick a different colour. I will turn around. Pick a different colour. And when you've got that colour...
Face it up again.
Yep. Hold it in between your hands. Have you got it?
Yep.
Okay, this time we're going to go with names. This time we're going to try and do something else. Something that I know you're passionate about. Let's talk about food. What we're going to do right now, we're going to assign your favourite meals to a different colour, okay? So we're going to go with, we're going to go with curry is going to be white. Chinese is going to be yellow. We're going to go with pizza is going to be orange. Hot dogs are going to be red. And then we're going to go with ice cream that's going to be blue. And finally, chocolate bars are going to be green. So you're thinking of a food now, yeah? I want you to imagine actually eating that and tasting it. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got the colour as well. You've gone for pizza, orange. Is that right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's try this one more time because I'm going to try it one last time, okay? So I'm going to turn away, think of a different colour.
Food, you're making me hungry.
I know, right? Let's do this one more time.
Right, another colour, okay.
Another colour, you got it?
Yeah, I'm just turning it, yeah.
Okay. And it's in between your hands. I can turn that round.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so this time
we're going to go for.
We're going to go with names again, but we're going to go not alcohol. We're going to go. I don't want to get you so desperate to want it. No, we're going to go with names. We're going to go with celebrities.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, I'm going to throw 6 celebrities at you. I want you to think of the celebrity that fits to your colour. So right, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. So we're going to go with. Yellow is going to be Donald Trump. White is going to be Ivana Trump. Blue is going to be Tom Cruise. Green is going to be Matt Damon. Red is going to be Julia Roberts. And orange is going to be Sandra Bullock. Have you got it?
You've got a random mix of people.
I've got quite a few different
the
ones.
Trumps and then lots of like great actors.
Oh, it is what it is. Are you thinking of one?
Yes.
Okay, picture this person.
Yeah. Do I need to show the camera or anything like that?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's a man.
It is, yeah.
It is a man, yes. You're thinking of Donald Trump.
You're
thinking of yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow and Donald Trump. And that's pretty good, right? Because you could have thought of any colour. When you thought of the colour, you could have thought of any celebrity to go with that colour.
Yeah.
And likewise before, any food and so on and so forth. And I was able to work it out each time, even though you had a completely free choice. However, everything was predetermined. And I mean everything was predetermined. Because here on this business card, you can see that I wrote down number 1. Does that show in the camera now? I wrote down number 1, John. Because you actually thought of John, if you remember, at the very, very beginning. something.
Yeah.
Then second of all, I wrote down pizza because you thought of pizza. And then finally at the bottom, you can see number 3, I thought of Donald Trump. And I wrote down Donald Trump. I predicted absolutely everything. You can have this. Oh, I was just making sure I was right, and I am. Okay. You can have this as a souvenir, and if you ever need a magician, you can give me a call.
I know a few, so I'll keep my options open.
So there you go. There you have it. That is that's the routine. It's such a strong routine, and what's nice is it's a great opener into other mentalism sets. And what I mean by that is, if I want to do with the routines that I'm talking about on this list, you could easily do 2 20-minute acts. You could do a 20-minute mentalism act, and you could do a 20-minute magic act. The cube routine that I've just shared with you is a great way to open a mentalism act because it's mental magic. It really blows people away. You've made that killer prediction at the end. Then you can put your keys back in your pocket and say, well, actually, let's try something else. And you can go into another routine that we're going to be discussing on this video. So there you go. That's the key section done. There is other stuff you can do with keys. That's the key section done. Now we're going to have a look at the phone section. Okay, so let's have a look at the phone now. Now, I am going to be doing a separate video on the best apps to have on your mobile phone, or the best apps to have on your smartphone, right? This is something that I'm going to be doing as a separate video. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to discuss 2 apps. I mean, I've probably got, again, without being funny, I've probably got a 30-minute act that I can do with just my phone. As long as I've got my phone on me, I've got like a 30-minute act that I could do with just the phone. And I've talked about, I did a video a little while ago of the 3 best tricks you've probably never seen before using the spectator's phone. And there were 3 routines on there that you could literally do anytime, anywhere, just by borrowing their phone. But I want to highlight 2 apps for you that I do tend to use an awful lot if I'm doing an impromptu set. These 2 routines will probably be in there. And the first one is Locked and Loaded, which is the app that was bought out last year by Ryan Schlutz. Now, if you haven't seen it, it is absolutely incredible. There's so much you can do with it. You can do it as just a card revelation, or you can go down a completely different route and do it in a million other ways. It's absolutely brilliant. The Locked and Loaded app is awesome. In fact, it actually won App of the Year in the Magic TV 2020 award show for good reason. It's absolutely brilliant. If you don't know what it is, it basically allows you to predict anything on the lock screen of your phone. And it comes preloaded with a playing card revelation. So you can have somebody name a playing card, and you can literally just show that that was predicted on the lock screen. You can then create your own lists as well within the app. Also, there's like a mini app store within the app that actually allows you to download other stuff as well. And there's some amazing routines that Ryan's got using the Locked and Loaded app. And if you go and watch the interview that I did with Ryan, he actually performs a couple of those routines on that video, and they are absolutely amazing. Excuse me. So the Locked and Loaded app is great. In fact, I'll do you a very quick performance of just a card revelation, just so you can see. If you haven't seen it before, this will give you an idea of what it is. So I'm going to do that right now. Let's have a look at a quick performance of Locked and Loaded. I'm going to tell you right now, I have made a prediction. It's on my phone, and I'll tell you right now, it's on the lock screen of my phone. Okay, lock screen of my phone. I'll turn my phone over so I can't cheat. We'll unlock that in a second, and we'll show you. You're going to pick a card in your head. What I want you, there's 52 cards in the pack. When I snap my fingers, you're going to tell everyone the name of the card. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of one?
Yeah.
Great. Now, what I want you to do actually is forget about that one and think of a different card. Change your mind.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're now thinking of a card that you didn't even know you were going to be thinking of.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? I'm not going to get you to name the card because I did this a couple of weeks ago and somebody said, oh, that's voice recognition, which is ridiculous. But just so people know it's not voice recognition, I'm going to give you the deck. What I want you to do is whatever card it is you're thinking of, take it out and just put it on the map there. Okay?
Yeah.
Because this way, everybody at home will know the name of the card without you actually saying anything. And it doesn't matter whether I see the card or not, because frankly, I have made my prediction. I know, I'm committed. So
yeah.
Literally the tension is building to a crescendo right now. I'm very excited. Jack's very excited as well. By the way, the other prediction I made is that your card will be the last card in the deck. That was close. Yeah,
That was close.
And are you happy? I didn't make you pick that one at all, did I? No. Check this out. Right there, on the lock screen of the phone. I did tell you, right there. Oh, sorry, I'll just, there we go. Right there, the 5 of hearts. Okay, so that's locked and loaded. The other routine I want to talk to you about is Digital Force Bag, or DFB. If you haven't got Digital Force Bag, it's Nick Einhorn's app. It's been around for a while now. I'm sure most professional magicians have got one, but it is a way of forcing anything from the notes page of your phone. So the idea is that you say that you've got a list of whatever it may be. Give me a number between 1 and 100. You go through to the list. They open it up. They scroll down, and they can see on that list that you've forced, even though it looks like it's not forced at all. It's forced. I use the Digital Force Bag in several different routines, in several different ways. I incorporate it into longer stuff that I do. I incorporate it into smaller stuff that I do. Digital Force Bag is absolutely great. It really is. So I'll show you a quick performance of Digital Force Bag as well, just for sake of completeness. I'm sure you all know what it is, and I'm just going to do the standard routine. There's a lot more complicated stuff you can do, and to be honest, I am thinking about doing a video of routines just with Digital Force Bag, because there is so much you can do with it, and there is so much I do with it. But this is the absolute basic routine, so that you've never seen it before. This is the sort of thing you can do literally straight out of, as soon as you download the app, you can do something like this straight away. So let's have a look at that right now. I am going to text you a photo.
Okay.
And I don't want you to look at the photo.
Okay.
I do want you to confirm that you do have indeed got the picture.
Okay.
Just don't open it. I don't want you to look at what the picture is, but I do want you to confirm that you've had the text message.
All right.
So I'm just texting you now.
Yeah, I've got a text.
Okay, don't look at it.
I haven't looked.
The reason I've sent you that is because that basically commits myself. I'm telling you right now that even though this is going to appear very random, the end result, hopefully, will match that photo. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with making notes. I like, on my notes page on my phone, I have thousands of notes. Yeah, same thing. I abuse the notes page on my phone. And there's 2 notes in particular that I've got on here. I've got a list of 100 random celebrities that I got off the internet. And I have a list of 100 random things that I found in a shopping market. Okay. So 100 grocery items or something like that, right? So I'm going to get, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, actually. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to pick from these lists completely at random. And we're going to start off with the celebrity list. Now, there's 100 different celebrities on that list.
Yeah.
I'd like you to commit yourself before anything. And before I show you the list, give me a number between 1 and 100.
77.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's a coincidence, because that's my age. So you sure you want 77?
maybe the year you were born.
So here you go. So there's the notes page. Can you see it there?
Yeah. I can see it.
Yep, there you go. And you can see all the different notes on there, can you?
I put the characters.
You see celebrities on there?
Yeah, celebrities, groceries. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go with celebrities right there, and you can see that they're all different. And it doesn't matter whether I see it, but as I scroll up, you can see that all the celebrities are different. Can you see who's at 77?
Not yet. Keep going. Oh, stop. Yep, I got him.
Okay, so who is it?
Tom Cruise.
And that's a free choice, right?
Yeah.
If you'd had 81, you would have had Johnny Depp. If you'd had, I don't know, 70, you would have had Drake. The point is they're all different, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're also going to pick from the grocery items list.
Okay.
You have a choice to make again now. Do you want to stick with the number 77, or do you want to go with a different number?
No, I'm going to go with a different number.
And what number would you like?
28.
Are you sure? Because that's my IQ.
I'm sure.
Sure. Okay. 28, yeah? So 28. So once again, there's the notes page. And, oh, hang on, let me open it. There you go. Here we go. Do you see grocery items?
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And you can see they're all different.
Yeah.
D28?
Yeah.
What is it?
Coca-Cola.
Okay, Coca-Cola. Now, if you'd have stuck with 77, you would have ended up with
Gin.
Gin was infinitely would have been a better choice, but okay, Coca-Cola. That's fair enough. And the point is, no one could have known that ahead of time. Agreed?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, Coca-Cola and
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Interesting. And do you remember I said that before we did anything?
Yeah.
I would send you over. I sent you over a picture.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah.
The picture that has been on your phone the entire time.
Yeah.
It's been there from the very, very beginning.
Yeah. The
picture I text you over.
Yeah.
And I said, this is going to freak you out.
Yeah.
Open up the picture and have a look at it.
This is brilliant.
Show the camera.
Tom Cruise drinking a Coke. This is brilliant. That's great.
So there you have it. That's Digital Force Bag. It is. I don't want you to look at this as a trick. Think of it like a tool. It's a tool that you can carry around with you that enables you to do so much. It's great. It really is. So there you go. There's a couple of apps that you can download into your phone straight away. Digital Force Bag and Locked and Loaded. Both are brilliant. Both can be done anytime, anywhere. Just really great apps. As I say, there will be a future video coming soon, doing kind of a deep dive into different stuff that you can do with your phone and different apps that you can have on your phone. But I think it's really important that we do talk about the phone during this particular video, because it is something that you carry around with you. How many people that have got a phone don't carry it around with them? You carry it around everywhere, and you're able to do so much with a phone. So there you go. We've talked about the phone. We've talked about a couple of things that you can do with the phone. Now let's move on to something else. Okay, so number 5. This is something that isn't in the phone. It's not like an app that you have on the phone, but it's something I keep within my phone case. And it's probably the newest thing that I've added into my everyday carry, because we only literally just reviewed it recently, but I was so impressed with it that I've got 2 of these, one that I've put in my gig bag and one that I've actually put in the phone case to my phone. And I am, of course, talking about the Call by Wayne, Dobson and Dietrich. Now, if you didn't see the review show where I reviewed this and Ryland performed it, we did a review show, I think it was last week. Go and check it out, because we talk about this in great detail. But this is basically, Wayne brought out a trick called Revelations that he marketed through JB Magic several years ago. This is a reimagining of that. What's nice about it is it's looks like a phone, so you've got the gag of, hey, I've been sent a new phone from Apple. It's quite thin. What do you think of it? But it's literally just basically three sheets of card. So it's small enough to actually put into a phone case. And I have actually put this at the back of my phone case so that I can literally pop my phone out and say, look, I want to show you this, and I can go straight into this routine. Now, you can't do the mem deck. There's a version of it. There's a version of this routine that allows you at the end to do almost like a card at any number, where the card that they freely name ends up at a position in the deck and you get told what position it's at, and it's incorporated into it very easily, so there's no memory work. You can look at the review to see Ryland do that. I'm not going to perform that version for you now, and the reason I'm not is because you can't do that impromptu. When you're walking out and about, you're not going to have a pack of cards around with you, but you are going to be able to do the main routine. So I'm going to talk to you about the main routine, okay? So I'm going to show you the main routine. I'm going to perform the main routine for you right now. This is the Call by Wayne Dobson. Okay, Seth, did you know that there's a new Apple out? It's the Apple 20. And because I buy so much Apple stuff, they've actually sent me a pre-copy of it. Would you like to see it? It's the thinnest iPhone ever. Like, honestly, you can see all the different apps. It's so thin. I mean, they've got the technology just right here. But what it's got built in a special app for magicians that allows magicians to be able to do a really cool trick. I'll show you. I want you to think of a playing card, any one of the 52 playing cards. Are you thinking of one?
Hang on.
Not a joker.
Hang on. Something cool. Okay, yeah, I've got one.
Okay, let me just switch it on. There we go. Now, do you see that there's 4 rows there?
Yeah.
And you can see that there's letters and numbers in each row. Can you just tell me, is the card that you're thinking of, is the value in the first row right now?
Yes.
It is. Is it in the second row?
No.
Is it in the third row?
No.
Is it in the fourth row?
Yes.
Okay, it is. That's very, very interesting. That tells me immediately, believe it or not, what the suit of your card is. That tells me immediately that the suit of your card, I can tell you it's a black card, isn't it? Is that right? Is it a black card?
Yes.
It is a black card. Is it a spade?
Nope.
It's not a spade.
No.
So, hang on a minute. Are you sure it's not a spade?
Yeah, I'm positive.
So you weren't thinking of the 14 of spades then?
That's not a card.
Okay, the phone's obviously got it wrong, but it wasn't a red card. So, hang on, it wasn't the 15 of diamonds, was it?
What weird cards have you come up with?
It wasn't the 15 diamonds. No. I tell you what though, I've got a prediction on the other side of this phone. Do you have any idea what's on the other side of this phone?
Based on those cards, no.
No, correct. Well done. That's, it's amazing, isn't it? But seriously, I can just press this button on the back of the phone. It's got back touch technology, and it immediately tells me the name of the card. If it now told you the name of the card you were thinking of, would that be good?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to, because really they're all there.
Oh.
Every single one of them. It's there. It's there. It's there.
Right.
Have you seen this? This. Have you seen this?
Oh.
Seen this? Anyway, oh, hang on.
know what my
Hang on.
card is,
Well,
do you?
I'm getting a call. Hang on. Sorry? Oh, hi. Hi, Wayne. It's Wayne Dobson.
Oh, is it?
I went, yeah. Yeah, she's here. Yeah. No, she is. Yeah, she's still. Yeah, really. Yeah. I know. I can't believe it either. What was the matter? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look, I don't want to look stupid. Are you sure it's right? Yeah. Of course I trust you. You're like a legend. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll ask her. He says, ask her if her card is the 9 of clubs. Was that the one? Was that the one? Did you get it right?
Yes.
Wayne, you got it right. You the man. Virtual high five. Boom. Okay, hang up now. See you later. Bye. There you go. Wayne Dobson, not me. So there you go. That's the call. Now, I cannot tell you how strong this is. I'm sure that there's going to be people out there watching this that go, hang on a minute. Does the spectator realise what's going on? No, they absolutely don't. Trust me. The binary system that's at use here is something I've been using for years in many, many, many different ways. And it always hits. And it always hits hard every single time. From the audience's point of view and the spectator's point of view, they're thinking of a playing card. You then go into a gag fest where it's gag after gag after gag, and that's the key thing to this routine. It is very, very entertaining. It is very, very funny. But at the end, they haven't written it down. They haven't told anybody. They haven't spoken it out loud. And yet you can immediately tell them the exact card that they're thinking of. That is really strong. That is really powerful. It enables you to do a card revelation with a freely chosen card without even having a pack of cards on with you, which is great. And it's an instant reset. You just put it back into your phone case, you snap your phone back in place, and you're good to go again and perform it anytime you want to. And when you do, it'll be a different outcome because people can think of any card they want. So there you go. That's the call by Wayne Dobson. It is the latest thing that I've added to my everyday carry, but I wanted to highlight it to you because it is so damn good. Right, I'm going to throw that into the phone section because I keep it in my phone even though it's not using something on the phone. But now we're going to move on to the wallet. Okay, so number 6, we're going to start talking about wallets. Now, there's 2 wallets that I can recommend as an everyday carry. And I get a question all the time, which wallet's better? Is this wallet better? Is this wallet better? I have lots of different wallets. I kind of collect wallets, and there's lots of wallets I love for various different reasons. As it stands, with wallets that are available commercially, if you're wanting to do a carding wallet, I think the best option is Brent Braun's FPC wallet. I think it's absolutely amazing if you're wanting to do a card to wallet. But I don't do card to wallet when I'm out and about because I haven't got a deck of cards with me. So there's one of 2 wallets I can recommend. Both are great. Ryland uses one of these. I use the other one. Okay, but I would happily use the one Ryland carries around with him as well. I think they're both great and they both got a fantastic review on the review show. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the Shadow Wallet by 1914 and the D. Christopher. The Shadow Wallet is amazing. It looks like a new modern style wallet. It's not like one of those old wallets that's, you used to see people carry around in the 1970s, right? It's not like that. It's a current modern looking wallet. There's lots of space for credit cards. There's lots of space for bills and notes. It can be used as an everyday wallet. And that's important because a lot of magic wallets are designed to do magic. They're not designed to carry your stuff around. The Shadow Wallet can carry your stuff around with you. But there's two main features with the Shadow Wallet. The first main feature is the peak. It allows you to do an incredible peak. Now, if anybody's ever done peaks before in the context of a mentalism routine, they are so powerful. Now, I'm not a mentalist by any stretch of the imagination, but I do several routines that use peaks. And normally when I'm out and about, impromptu, I'll do a couple of different things. I might do a revelation of a girlfriend from school. There's a Richard Osterland routine that I do that involves me borrowing their watch and having somebody else write a time down, and they twiddle the knob on the watch, and it's a whole coincidence effect. I do that quite a lot as well. So there's lots of different things that I can utilize a peak for. And if I'm doing my mentalism set, remember earlier on I said I've got a magic set and a mentalism set. I start the mentalism set with the cube on the key ring, and then I go into this. I go into a couple of routines with the Shadow Wallet. So the first really nice thing with the Shadow Wallet is there's a peak in there, and as long as I throw a couple of business cards into my wallet, which I always do, the space of the Shadow Wallet for 5 or 6 business cards, I'm set to do an incredible peak anytime, anywhere. So first of all, the peak in the Shadow Wallet is brilliant. It's one of the best peaks I've seen, and it looks so natural because it's with my everyday carry. The second thing that's included in the Shadow Wallet, which is even better in my opinion, is the revelation of a playing card. So you can have somebody name any playing card at all, and the card that they name will appear in the wallet. It's the only card that you've got folded up in the wallet. You say, hey, I've got one card folded up in the wallet, and it's the card that they name. It is so strong, and it's built directly into the Shadow Wallet, and you get all the cards and everything that you need to perform it. So let me show you that first of all. So I'm going to perform that routine for you so you can see exactly how it plays and exactly what it looks like. Okay, Sarah, I have a wallet here. Inside this wallet, I'll tell you right now, I've got a folded up playing card. Do you have a lucky card?
No.
You don't have a lucky card. I have a lucky card. It's the one that I've folded up and put inside here. We're going to try and do something. Obviously, I've not got a pack of cards on me. We're going to use our imagination. I want to pretend I've got an invisible deck of cards right here.
Okay.
And we're going to get you to pick a card from this invisible deck, and we're going to do it bit by bit. So first of all, I want you to pretend I've got all of the number cards here, and I've got all the picture cards. Can you do me a favour and grab either all the number cards or all the picture cards? Which ones do you want? Numbers, pictures?
I love pictures.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Your choice.
Can't believe I actually reached for imaginary cards. But
Well, there you go, there you go. Now, you've got all the picture cards over there. So you've got all of the
yes.
jacks, all the queens, all the kings. And obviously, you've got some red cards, you've got some black cards. What I want you to do, when I snap my fingers, you're going to throw away either all of the black cards or all of the red cards. To be clear, whatever you're left with, that's what we're going to use. Do that right now.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What are you left with?
I'm left with the red ones.
So you're left with the jacks and you're left with the jacks, the queens, and the kings. What I want you to do when I snap my fingers is you're going to throw all of the cards away, leaving just one card, and that's going to be your lucky card. If you could do that right now, go for it.
Yeah.
What have you got left?
I've got the Queen of Diamonds.
Interesting. And what's, just so you guys know, she's off camera, but she was actually doing all the throwing away. So
Don't tell me.
wonderful imagination. But I told you I had a folded up playing card inside my wallet, and it's been there from the very beginning. Do you believe in coincidence?
A bit.
Isn't that a coincidence? So do I. But I've had this card inside my wallet from the very, very beginning. This is my lucky card. And you ended up with the Queen of Diamonds. Don't you think it's kind of weird that my lucky card is the Queen of Diamonds as well? I mean, that's weird, right? I have no idea how this works. It freaks me out. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go one step further. I'm going to pop my lucky card back inside my wallet. And you'll notice up here, I actually have some business cards. I'm going to take one of these business cards out, just one. There we go. Yeah. And what I want you to do is we're going to go one step further with this. I want you to take this business card. I'll also give you a pen.
Okay.
And I want you to think of the name of a friend at school. It doesn't have to be your best friend. Back in primary school, I want you to think of a friend, just the first name, and I want you to write the name there, and then show the camera so I can't see.
Okay.
And then and I'll look this way. And when you've done that, tell me, and I will turn back round. So if you could write down the name of a friend that you had at school, any friend, and then when you've done that, just show the camera very, very quickly. Are we done?
Yeah.
Good. Is the ink dry? It is now. Right, perfect. I'm just going to pop that away. Well, I'll throw it away here. We're not going to need it until later on, so I'm just going to pop it away inside there. Okay? So now, if you were here in front of the camera, I'd get you to hold this in between your hands, but you're not there. It doesn't matter. I want you to imagine you were at school. You're back at school. Was this primary school? I did say primary school.
Yes.
Primary school it was. And was this your best friend? I didn't say it had to be your best friend, but was this your best friend?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to imagine you sitting in the cinema, and the cinema screen's in front of you, and the picture of your best friend appears right there. And also the name appears in neon above them. Now, this name that's written in neon lights, what colour is the neon in your imagination?
Yellow.
Yellow. So that tells me this is a friend that was a girl. That's not magic, that's psychology. Yellow is purple, pink is always girls. But obviously, I mean, when you're in primary school, it probably would be a girl anyway, wouldn't it? So you probably think, well, that's not very impressive. But I want you to imagine that the first letter of that neon, the first letter of the name is flashing brighter than all the other letters. It's actually flashing brighter. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It's so bright you almost have to look away, but it shapes into a D, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go for the last letter. The last letter in the name, right at the very end. I want you to imagine that starting to flash brighter, and it's pulsating like this, on and off, and on and off, and on. You're imagining this, and
Okay.
Okay, it's E, isn't it? It's an E.
It is.
Yeah. Now what we need to do is pick a letter in the middle of the name. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. You're thinking of a B, aren't you?
I am.
Couldn't have thought of any of those letters, but you went for a B. You changed your mind. You went for an I for a second, then you went back to a B, then you went back to an I, which was very, very interesting. You dotted between them, but you ended up on the B. Now let's see if we can take the whole name. Is this what you actually called this person, or is this a nickname, or is that?
This is like
a nickname. Yeah. I don't want you to think of the longer name. Think of the actual abbreviated name. For a second, you changed the last letter to a H. Was that because that's the last letter of the full name? Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't think of that. Think of just the name that you wrote down. The name that you wrote down would be Debbie or Deborah. Debbie, is that right?
It is.
There you go, your friend Debbie. Boom. Darren Brown, eat your heart out. So I can't tell you how strong that is. When I've just done my RD cube routine and I go straight into that, it kills, it hits, and it hits hard. It really does. It's nice that I can literally, just with the wallet, not with the stuff inside the wallet, but just with the wallet, I can literally do like 10 minutes. So I can do that card routine. I think then go into a peak routine, and it's all self-contained within the wallet. The Shadow Wallet is fantastic. In my opinion, it's the best everyday carry wallet that there is, which is why it's my everyday carry wallet. However, there is another wallet I want to discuss with you as well, which is equally cool, but in a completely different way. And let's have a look at that wallet right now. So the second wallet I want to talk to you about is the Contactless Wallet, which is by Peter and Harry Nardi, and it's available from Alakazam Magic. And what the Contactless Wallet is, it is another wallet that's designed to look like a minimalistic modern wallet. It looks like a wallet should look, right? But what you can do with this wallet is you can do, incredible stuff. You can do a really nice multiple out routine with this wallet that's built into the wallet in a very organic way. The wallet is built specifically to do this routine. And, I'm going to perform this routine for you in a second. And I talked about this when I reviewed this particular wallet. I said that there's going to be people watching this that are going to think, oh, that's a bit simplistic. And it's not. Unless you've actually tried a routine like this in front of real people, unless you've done that, you cannot possibly understand how strong this is, because they feel like they've had a completely free choice, and then you show that you predicted that right from the very, very beginning. It is so incredibly powerful. Let's have a look at that right now. So this is a routine that you can do with the Contactless Wallet. So, Sarah, I've got a wallet here, and we're going to try and do something. We're going to try and do something kind of incredible, to be honest. Do you believe that you have free will over your actions, or do you believe that everything's predetermined and predestined?
I think it's a mixture, actually.
You think it's a mixture? Okay. Well, I'm going to prove to you that everything is predetermined. Now, I've got my wallet here, and inside the wallet, I've actually got 3 cards. Now, these are the 3 cards that are the most important cards to me in the world. The first one is obviously my Visa card. My Visa card is very, very important because it's what I use to pay things with. The second card here is my Tesco Club card, equally as important, because if I don't have that, how am I going to get my points? So I've got my Tesco Club.
Stolen my club card?
I might have. Maybe. But I like to think of it as sharing because we're a couple.
Okay.
And then this is the single most important card ever. This is the IKEA family card.
Right.
It's important because of one thing and one thing only. Meatballs. You know, I mean, that's why everyone goes. No, let's be honest, that's why you go to IKEA, right? You don't go for the furniture. You don't go for the flat pack. You go for the meatballs. In fact, the thing I've missed the most during lockdown is the meatballs. It's amazing. It's amazing. And even if you go into their little like grocery section and you buy the meatballs and take it home, they're not as good as when you buy them in the restaurant. So there you go, the meatballs. It's all about the meatballs. Anyway, I'm going to give you a chance to win £20. Would you like to win £20?
Sure.
There's the £20. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Now, the idea is very, very simple. You are going to pick one of these cards. Don't tell me right now.
Okay.
When I snap my fingers like this, you're going to name the card out loud. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to be able to prove to you that I knew which card you would name. And if I get it wrong, you get the £20 note that you can use to spend on whatever you want. Now, some people pick the credit card because when you think of, because it's the most valuable thing, it's what you use to spend money. Some people pick the IKEA card because it's red and it kind of draws people together. And some people think of the Tesco card because Tesco is such a well-known brand and it's positioned in the middle of the other two. Psychologically, it's more appealing.
Okay.
But it's up to you. Don't let me try and influence you in any direction. You can have whichever one of these you want. When I snap my fingers, please name that card.
IKEA.
You went with the meatballs. You went with the meatballs.
It was the meatballs, yeah.
It was the meatballs, wasn't it? And I really did know.
And the gravy.
And I really did know. And the gravy. You gotta love the gravy. Can't have the meatballs without the gravy. But I really did know that you would pick the IKEA card, which means that the £20 note stays with me. I will put it back inside my wallet. I win. Thank you very much. I'll prove it to you. You don't look very impressed. I'll prove it to you. You see, the IKEA card, I knew you'd pick it because on the other side of the IKEA card, it's actually got a big green tick, proving that I knew you would pick the IKEA card because it's got a big green tick there. Now, some people, some sceptical people, they'll turn around to me and they'll say, Craig, because that's my name, Craig, they'll say, Craig, but they've all got green ticks on.
Yeah.
And my response to that is mind your own business, because of course I wouldn't do that. There's no way I would do that. In fact, on the other cards, I've got a big cross.
What?
I've got a big cross.
No.
And I've got this tick here, which proves that I knew that you, Sarah, are all about the meatballs.
That just sounds wrong.
It really does, doesn't it? So there you go. Isn't that a really great routine? Now, the nice thing is, as with the Shadow Wallet, this wallet is designed to have all of your stuff in it. So there's lots of different sections that can keep money and can keep credit cards, which again, as I said, is very, very important. And this is Ryland's everyday wallet. So he carries his money and his library card and all of the different bits and pieces he's got. He carries this around with him when he goes to school. It's in his bag. And because of that, he knows he can do this routine literally at the drop of a hat. And it's nice to be able to do that. It's nice to be able to go into a routine that's this strong that you can do literally at the drop of the hat. It's also slightly smaller than the Shadow Wallet as well. So if space is an issue for you, and you want something that's even smaller, then this is one to go for. I love them both. I prefer the Shadow Wallet, which is why I carry it around with me, but Contactless is damn good as well, and the routine with it is so strong. And I've actually used Contactless in the past several times, and as I said, it always gets a great reaction. So Contactless is well worth getting. So those are the two wallets that I would recommend, both the Shadow Wallet and Contactless Wallet. You're not going to go wrong with either one of them. They look like the sort of carry wallet that you would carry around with you, and they have built-in routines that you can do at the drop of a hat without needing any extra props. Now let's look at some of the stuff that you can actually put in the wallet. Okay, so the next routine that I want to talk to you about is a routine called Gossip. Now, you might have heard of this, you might not have heard of this. Gossip is something that I've been doing for 12 years. I've recently just released it through Alakazam Magic. It's my newest release. It's my first release back after several years. But this is something that I've done for about 10 years. And genuinely, this is something I've done for so long. And it's something I've never really wanted to release. I've wanted to keep it to myself. but I kind of released it now. And what it is it's a version of the baby gag, but done close up. Now, I always wanted to do baby gag close up because I used to do, still do. Baby gag is a big feature of my cabaret show when I'm on stage. I originally started by doing the version with Bill Malone did on his DVD set, where he did the pre-show, and I always used to do the pre-show beforehand. I went into the baby gag, turned it around, always got a great reaction. Then after that, I transitioned into Bill Abbott's Celebrity Smart Ass, which again is a really nice routine, works really well. Both of those you can't really do close up. And I wanted to do a close up baby gag. And this was developed to do a close-up baby gag. But what happened as a result of this is the actual thing that you get with gossip, which you'll see in a minute. It allows you to go in so many different directions. I don't look at gossip as a trick. I look at it as a tool. There's literally 5 or 6 different ways that I can actually present gossip, and each one is as strong as the other. And it's designed to fit inside your wallet. So you literally have inside your wallet, you have this thing which makes sense during the course of the presentation. You take it out and you do this killer prediction that finishes with the baby gag, and then you turn it round and you've got the chosen celebrity. But at no point have they said the celebrity out loud. They've not written it down. They've not told anybody. It's really strong. I'm going to perform that for you right now. So let's have a look at a performance of gossip. Okay, now anybody who's watching this, I have to tell you, my wife needs help. And the reason no, you do, because you're obsessed with celebrities. You're constantly trying to find out who's marrying who's dating who's banging who. It just happens all of the time. She's looking at the gossip websites.
I don't have time to these days.
Well,
cheeky.
you know, you still collect those those like glossy magazines occasionally, and you know the really cheesy ones with all of the celebrity information on it. In fact, one that you bought last month, I actually took the centerfold from it. It wasn't as interesting as you'd think, but I actually took the centerfold from it. This is it. It's a top 10 list. It's a list of, it's got everything on here. It's got the best looking men, it's got the best looking women, the most loved men, the most loved women. There's 10 lists altogether. The biggest thing on here that I think is totally factually incorrect is that Scarlett Johansson only got put 10th as best. Johansson, I always get that wrong. To be honest, I'm not thinking of her name when I'm looking at her. She only got 10 in the best looking women. But Sarah, this is what we're going to do. I want you to take this for me, if you can please. And I want you to think of a number from 1 to 10. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Now, don't tell me what the number is. Is it an odd number or an even number?
It is an...
Sarah, are you thinking of an odd number or an even number?
Even.
You're thinking of an even number. Okay, let's switch this on its head and think of an odd number as well. So you're thinking of 2 completely different numbers. You're thinking of an odd number and an even number. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Then what I want you to do, whatever odd number you're thinking of, look up that list. That would be good.
Number.
Yeah, look up that list. And then use the other number to go down and look at a celebrity on that list. Okay. And tell me when you've got a celebrity.
Yeah.
You've got one. Now, does that celebrity's name appear anywhere else on that list?
Nope.
And look at all the other lists at the same number. Does the celebrity appear anywhere else? Look at the list before. Look at the list afterwards. No?
No.
Okay, close it up. There's no way I could possibly know the name of the celebrity you're thinking of, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want you to think of that celebrity's name. Imagine that you're in a cinema and the cinema screen's in front of you and the name is written in neon, a little bit like what we did before. I want you to imagine that the name's there written in neon. What colour is the neon?
Purple.
Purple, that's interesting. You see, that tells me it's a male celebrity, is that right?
It is, yeah.
It is a male celebrity. Think of the first name. Just think of the first name of the celebrity. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Just the first name. You got it there in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Think of the length of the first name. It's quite a shortish name, isn't it? Like 5 or 6 letters.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
But the surname's shorter, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you literally could have thought of anybody on that list, right?
Yeah.
I didn't make you pick one.
It's quite a good list, to be fair.
I know there's quite some interesting names on there, isn't there? Here's the thing. I've got a picture in my pocket. You haven't actually said the name of that celebrity at this point. But I've got a picture here in my pocket. I've got a picture of a celebrity. One celebrity and one celebrity only. If I told you I had a picture of the celebrity that you're thinking of, would that be good?
Yeah.
Well, I have. Now, I will point out to you, it wasn't a recent picture. It was taken a little while ago. Just want to point that out. It's not like one of his most recent pictures. But here it is. Here's a picture of your celebrity. as a 6-month-old baby. There you go.
That's more than a little while ago, Craig.
Okay, so it's a long while ago, but well, I mean, for the first time, tell me who were you thinking of? What was the name of the celebrity?
Johnny Depp.
Really? Well, I did have a more up-to-date picture on the back. I mean, does that look better? I mean, that's slightly better. Johnny.
Yes.
There you go. There's
Yes.
Johnny. There you go. Perfect. So that's Gossip, and it is so incredibly strong. Like I said, all you have to do is fold that thing up and put it in your wallet. It fits in the Shadow wallet. It fits in the Contactless wallet absolutely fine, and you're good to go. And when you put it back in the wallet, it's instantly reset. Now, what you just saw was me doing the baby gag version, which is fine, but there's lots of other versions that you can do as well. So you can do it as just a straight up mind reading piece. That's absolutely fine. Pete Nardi had a great idea where you've got a business card and you tell them to think of a celebrity, and you're basically saying that you're going to draw the celebrity, and you draw a stick man. And then when you've drawn the stick man, they're not very impressed. And then you move your hand, and underneath it's got the name of the celebrity they're thinking of. That's a really cool way of doing it. You can do it as a coincidence effect, and I do it a lot as a coincidence effect. So somebody thinks of a celebrity off there, and the other person asks them for a number between 1 and 100. And I talk about how I've got a list on my phone of different celebrities. I ask them to go to the number and look up the celebrity, and I say on the count of 3, I want you to both name your celebrity out loud, and they've both thought of the same celebrity, which is great as a coincidence effect. There's so many different ways you can go with this, and I can't stress enough. It's a different outcome every time. You just fold it up, you put it in your wallet, and you're good to go. It's designed to be done as part of an everyday carry. And it's so strong. It's what I typically close my mentalism set with. I've been talking about this mentalism set and how I do this, and then I go into this, and then I go into this. This is how I close the mentalism set. Because for me, everything that I carry around with me, there's nothing stronger than Gossip. It's absolutely brilliant. So it's available from Alakazam Magic. I don't want to turn this into a Gossip, sales pitch, but I have to bring it up because it was designed specifically to be included in my everyday carry. Right, now we've looked at Gossip, let's have a look at the next thing on the list. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is, of course, Extreme Burn by Richard Sanders. Extreme Burn is such an amazing product. I use Extreme Burn locked and loaded. I have 2 different Extreme Burns. It's something that I use all the time in a gigging situation, but I always have one inside my wallet as well, and I'm good to go anytime, anywhere. If you don't know what Extreme Burn is, very, very simply, you reach into your pocket, you take a whole bunch of receipts or anything you want to. You can take magazine clippings, it doesn't really matter. I prefer receipts, and I'll tell you why. For me, and again, this goes back to everything being organically, it makes more sense for me to have receipts in my wallet than having a magazine clipping, especially as I'm probably going to be doing Gossip. I'm doing Gossip and I'm bringing this thing that I pulled out of a magazine. That's fine, that's logical, that makes sense. But if I bring out pieces of magazine clippings that are just like all cut together, it looks like a magic prop, if that makes sense. So I have it made out of receipts, and I had that done by the Gimmick King, Steve Rowe. He actually made me my Extreme Burn out of receipts. And it allows me to take the receipts out of my wallet, show them as receipts, show them front and back, close them up, flick, and they turn into £20 notes, and I just put that away. It's a great opener. It is a fantastic opener for an act. It really is. And when I do the magic trick thing, when I do the magic, a lot of the time, so I talked about the mentalism act I've got with me, I've also got a magic act with me. When I do the magic act, typically Extreme Burn is the thing that I actually have with me to open with. So I'll open with Extreme Burn before I go into something else and something else and something else, because it grabs people's attention and it establishes credibility. We've talked about this before on videos about opening routines. It's important to establish credibility. It's important to do something that's quick and visual. And the information that I talked about openers, it applies to this as well. It applies to an impromptu situation as much as it does a gigging situation. So let's have a look at Extreme Burn right now so you can see what the routine looks like. Okay, so I'm going to show you something with receipts. Now these here receipts, they're from a whole bunch of different places. I'm going to show you something with all of these receipts. I want you to watch very, very carefully. Do not blink for a second, because what you're about to see is the holy grail for any magician. What you're about to see is the thing that every single magician would possibly want to do. I want you to watch. It looks like this. All I have to do is take these receipts, 1, 2, 3, and I can do that. and I can take those receipts and change them into 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 pounds of real money. And this will probably get spent on you, let's be perfectly honest.
The kids, you mean?
Yeah, you and the kids. So there you go, that's Extreme Burn. I would highly recommend everybody get it. Even if you're not thinking about getting it for your everyday carry, it is an incredible routine. It is the best version of Pat Page's Easy Money that I've ever seen. So there you go. That's Extreme Burn. Fits inside your wallet. You're good to go anytime, anywhere. Now, let's have a look at the next item on the list. Okay, so the next item that always makes my everyday carry is Powerball 60. What is Powerball 60? Well, Powerball 60 is, it was brought out by Bill Abbott and Richard Sanders. It's kind of a joint collaboration between Richard Sanders and Bill Abbott. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't do Powerball 60 anymore. And there's a reason I don't do Powerball 60, and the reason is I do something else using the same principle. And I couldn't do that and also do Powerball 60. And I'm not able to tell you what that other thing is because it's going to be produced by a particular magic company at some point down the line and it's going to be bought out, and they've asked me not to talk about it. So I can't really tell you the other thing that I do. But up until I started doing that, which was about 2 years ago, up until when I started doing that, I always did Powerball 60. The only reason I took Powerball 60 out is because I replaced it with this other trick. So I just want to be completely honest with you. If you catch me out and about next week and you ask me to show you Powerball 60, I'm not going to have it on me. I will have this other thing on me, but I'm not going to have Powerball 60 on me. But as you can't get that other thing, and as I can't even talk about it, and as it's not even available right now, I'm going to tell you that Powerball 60 is amazing, because it is. I had it on me in my wallet for years. It's very organic. You'd expect it. People know what lottery tickets look like, right? It makes sense that you'd have a lot of scratch cards on you. A lot of people do carry scratch cards, old scratch cards on them. And as long as you give it that kind of, oh, you want to see a trick? Okay, what have I got on me? Oh, I've got some scratch cards here. Would you like to see some scratch cards? It all just makes sense logically. So if you haven't seen Powerball 60 before, it's Richard and Bill very, very cleverly adapted the binary principle into this lottery ticket thing. This lottery scratch card ticket thing. It made absolute, complete and total sense. And it's really powerful. When you perform this, it gets really great reactions. Because, again, it's a little bit like The Call by Wayne Dobson, in that people don't expect you to be able to tell them the number they're thinking of because they haven't written it down, they haven't said anything, they haven't told anybody, and yet you're able to immediately tell them the number that they're thinking of. I mean, talk about killer. Let's have a look at it right now. Let's have a look at this routine. I'll perform it for you, and you can see exactly what it does. Okay, so I'm going to show you something incredible. You don't really play the lottery, do you?
No.
I know in the past you have bought scratch cards, but not very often. Well, I've got a new scratch card game here called Powerball 60. Have you heard of it before? It's a little bit different to the other games that you see out there because it's all based on numbers. You have to scratch off all the numbers, and if you have certain combinations of numbers, you win or you don't win. And I've got 6 here. I bought 6 of these, and to be honest, all of them were losers. I didn't win anything. But I think that we could probably do something pretty cool with this. Now, the reason it's called Powerball 60 is because each one of these has numbers from 1 to 60. Now, they haven't all got the same number on it, is the point that I'm trying to make here. Some of them have got numbers missing. It very much depends. In fact, all of them have got numbers missing. But we're going to try and do something here. I would like you to think of a number from 1 to 60. Don't say anything. Don't tell anybody. Don't say it out loud. Just think of a number from 1 to 60. Have you got that number?
Yes.
Good. Now, don't tell me the number, don't say anything, but I'm going to give you all of these cards. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like to look through these cards and I want you to deal them into 2 piles. If the number that you're thinking of is on that scratch card, put it over here. If it's not, put it over here. So we're going to end up with 2 piles, one that contains scratch cards with all of the that have all got the number on, and one pile that doesn't have the number on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. You take those. Okay. There you go. Now, I'm going to try and do something impossible here. And this is going to be incredible, but it's very important that you remember at no point is Sarah going to say her number out loud. At no point is she going to tell me the name of her number. She is not going to write it down. Have you made the 2 piles? Can you put the piles there for me? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Deal them into 2 piles. That's very good. I see that you're holding on to the piles mainly because you don't trust me. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what we have here is we have 3 in one pile and 3 in the other, which is an even split. Now, no one could have known that it would be an even split. It could have been that your number that you're thinking of only appeared on 1 card, or it could have been that it appeared on all 6 cards. And you can have a look through those later, and you can see that there are lots of possible combinations. Now, if I turned around to you, Sarah, and I told you I knew without a shadow of a doubt how many tickets your number would appear on, and I said to you, it's 3, and I told you that beforehand, that would not be that impressive. Because there's only 6 tickets, you might be thinking to yourself, well, it works out that there's always, whatever number I think of, it's only on 3 tickets and not 3 tickets. So from a performing point of view, if I'm going to impress you, and my goal here, Sarah, is to impress you, I have to do something more impressive than telling you how many tickets the number would be on. And the only way for me to do that would be for me to actually tell you the number, which would, of course, be impossible because you could have thought of any number between 1 and 60. And there's no way I could know what that number is because, like I said, you never wrote it down. You never told anybody. It exists in one place and one place only, which is your head. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of the number. And your job is very, very simple. If I get this number right, I want you to freak out. So here we go. Let's see if I can get the number. Concentrate on the number. Concentrate on the number. Okay, very interesting. A number's popped in, but as well as a number, the word hitchhiker. Does that make any sense? Hitchhiker?
No.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Didn't think it would for you because you're not a giant geek. But it makes sense to maybe me and a few other people that are watching this because I think the number that you're thinking of is 42. Is the number 42, Sarah?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
What's that got to do with Hitchhiker?
Well, in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the number 42 was the answer to what is the ultimate question? What's the purpose of life? The answer is 42. The answer is 42, and that's the number that you thought of.
Okay.
But my wife is not a giant geek, and I am, so it doesn't mean absolutely anything to her. Although if I had said to her the name of the actor in the latest 50 Shades of Grey remake, she'd know that immediately.
Would I know?
Yeah, you would.
There isn't a new film.
Okay, so that's Powerball 60. It's great, isn't it? If you've not seen it before, it is such an easy trick to do. You can buy it, you can watch the 20-minute download, and within 5 minutes of watching it, you're outperforming it. It's deviously, cleverly simple. The hard part is scratching all the stuff off because you've got to scratch the stuff off when you first do it. But yeah, that's it. And I hadn't performed Powerball 60 for about 2 years when I just did it on Sarah. And so that was like a presentation after not performing it for 2 years. But it's just as good now as it was back then. So Powerball 60 is fantastic. It fits in your wallet. You're good to go anytime, anywhere. Let's now have a look at the next item on this list. Okay, so the next item on this list is something called love cards. Now, love cards is a routine that I created with a guy called Russell Leeds, who I used to be business partners with, but he left Magic several years ago. However, what this is it's a way of being able to do a mentalism routine, a book test that's designed to fit inside your wallet. And I've always been thinking about ways of doing magic organically that you can carry around with you. That's where things like Keymaster came from. That's where Chop came from. I'm not including Chop in this list, but Chop was designed to be able to just have a Sharpie on you and be able to do a Chop Cup routine anytime, anywhere. Well, love cards was the same thought process. I love doing book tests. How can I do a book test from my wallet? And this is the solution I had. And I remember where this all came from is Sarah and I used to buy these little wallet cards for each other. And you can get them in the shops. They're very, very popular, where you have like little lovey-dovey messages on a little credit card side thing, and you give it to each other. And we used to buy these for each other. And I was looking at them one day. I was clearing out my wallet. I was like, oh my God, I've got so many of these. And then I came up with the idea of actually using these to create a book test that fits in your wallet. And I remember having to write, it took ages to put it together because I was writing all of the poetry that goes on all of the cards, on love cards. I actually wrote it all myself. I was very proud of that. It was released many, many years ago, so you probably haven't seen it, but it's a really strong 2-phase mentalism style routine. where you first of all read their mind, have a free choice of a word, you read the mind and you tell them the word, and then secondly, you predicted at the very, very beginning another word that they were going to think of. It's really strong. Let me show you a performance of it. I'll run that performance now so you can see exactly what love cards looks like. And then what I want you to do, when you've read that line a couple of times, what I want you to do is pick one of the words in that line, make it a nice long word, something that you can focus on, and remember that word. Have you done that?
Yeah.
And then put the card away. Have you done that? Yeah. In fact, just don't let me see anything. Put your hands over everything, okay? So think about this for a minute. You thought of a number. No one could know the number but you. You then went to a random card. I then gave you the option to change your mind and go for a different number. You kept the same number. You looked at that line and you've looked at a word on that line. Is it fair to say that nobody but you could know what that word is?
Yeah, only me.
Only you.
Yeah.
And there's like 1,000 words to pick from.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do now is focus on that word. Really get a mental image in your mind of that word. Focus on the word. Imagine you're in the cinema, and on the cinema screen it's that word flashing over and over again in neon sign. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
In fact, focus on the first letter of that word. Focus on the first letter.
Yeah.
Just the first letter. It's flashing over and over again. Send it to me now. Is it an S?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Brilliant. Well, let's try another letter. Think of another letter.
In the same word?
Yeah, in the same word. Think of another letter in there.
Okay, yeah.
Send it to me. There's another S in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is another S in there.
There is.
And there's a T.
Yeah.
Hang on. There's a P.
Yeah.
Concentrate on the word. Say it over and over in your head. Shout it over and over in your head. 1, 2, 3. Stupendous.
It is as well. That's the word.
1,000 words. You went down to 1. Stupendous.
Yeah.
But this is even weirder. Think about this. You thought of a number.
Yeah.
You never wrote the number down.
Yeah.
You never did anything with that number. It's been in your head and your head only. I even told you could change the number, but you didn't. You're thinking of one number.
Yeah.
One number only. Imagine a computer screen with the number flashing over and over again. Think of that now. Were you thinking of 6?
Oh my god, yeah. That's really freaky.
So there you go, that's love cards. That sits inside your wallet and it just sits in, they're very thin. So that fits in one of the credit card slots in your wallet and you just take it out and you show them. Again, it's organic, it makes sense. And when you're finished, you just put them away in your wallet and you're good to go. Now, this might be being updated and released. It's difficult to get hold of now. There are places where you can still get it from, but it is difficult to find. However, watch this space because I am talking to a particular company that wants to actually re-release it, but instead of using wallet cards, go in a different direction that would still be just as organic to keep in your wallet, but it's kind of modernized because this was released about 10 years ago. Even though you can still get wallet cards, I'm very excited with what we're planning on doing with this potentially, but if you want to get love cards and you search hard enough, you can find it, and it's a really strong routine. And by the way, there's no memory work in that routine at all. It can be a different word every single time. They can think of any number. They don't write anything down. They don't tell anyone. It's a very clever method. So that's love cards. Now let's look at the final routine on this list. Now, I've just realised that this is list number 12. This is item number 12. I've overshot by one. I'm very sorry. So this is 12 routines that you can include into your everyday carry. You got a bonus routine. Let's call this one the bonus one because it is not designed to fit in the wallet. It's designed to fit on your keys. So really, I should have put it in the first batch, but for some reason, I made this list of everything that I was going to include. And for some reason, I forgot. And then I saw the prop over there and I was like, oh my gosh, I included that. Forgot to include that. So this is a bonus routine. It's a ring flight. It's a particular type of ring flight. It's the Ring Flight Revolution by Prop Dog. Now, ring flight is amazing. The idea of a borrowed ring vanishing and appearing in your keys or on your keys is great. There's so many different versions of this that are really good. Flight, that's just been brought out by Illusionist, is really good. Pro Flight, that came out many, many years ago by Nick Einhorn, is really good. There's pros and cons of a lot of these different devices. For me, I think that the best way to do this, even now, is with a reel. And for me, it just makes everything more cleaner. It makes everything more impressive. If you've just got this, you know, you take the ring, you show it, boom, it disappears immediately. And then you show your hands empty and it's there on the keychain and they can remove it themselves. For me, that's the holy grail, right? Well, Ring Revolution is the best way to do this. The gimmicks that Dave Bonsall and Prop Dog make are just incredible. It's so much better than the old style leather key fobs that you saw years and years and years ago. They can custom make these out of any type of key. You can even give them a key and they can custom make it out of that particular key. It's so cool, it really is. So if you have a particular car, you can have the gimmick made out of that car key. My key fob that I carry around with me, I have as part of my everyday carry. I have Keymaster on it, I have Ignition on it, I also have RD Mini and the receiver on there, and I also have this on there. I also have the Ring Flight Revolution on there. It is the best ring flight on the market. It is silent. There's a lot of features and benefits built into it that you wouldn't expect to see that aren't built into any other ring flights. If you have never had a ring flight before, you can't possibly imagine how strong this is. I actually use ring flight on stage. I use Scott Alexander's way of doing ring flight on stage. Scott Alexander has got a booklet that's available as a download or a book off his website, and it's all about how to use a ring flight performing on stage. But I have performed this particular routine for years and years and years, and it's incredible. I also do, right, there's so much you can do with a good ring flight. I'm going to quickly just tell you this because this is cool. I've never told this anyone before. What you can do with a ring flight is you can make linking finger rings really clean for stage. Now, I don't know if you know linking finger rings. I'm not going to expose it. It's something that I do on stage quite a lot. It's the idea of taking 3 finger rings, linking them like that, and you see that the 3 finger rings are linked, and then you unlink them one at a time. It's a beautiful routine, very, very beautiful. I use David Regal's version if you're interested. But the nice thing about the Ring Flight Revolution, what you can do, and I've never told anyone this before, is when you borrow the first ring, you can use the Ring Flight Revolution to have it go onto the keys, and then you borrow the second ring, you borrow the third ring. So you've got rid of that ring at the very, very beginning, the ring that you have to get rid of for the routine, you've got rid of. You then use your pencil to link the 3 rings together. You show that the 3 rings are linked together, which looks incredible, and then you unlink them, and then the final ring just vanishes. You show your hands empty, and it's on your keychain. It's on your key fob. It's incredible. It really is. So, you know, for anybody out there that does linking finger rings, that's a great thing to do. I'm going to perform it for you very quickly now so you can see the sort of thing that it does. Let me give you a performance of that, and then we'll wrap everything up. Okay, so Sarah, I want to show you something with a ring. Can you lend me a ring, please?
There you go.
Thank you very much. Sarah, this is my ring.
That's because I don't trust you with my rings anymore.
It wasn't me that lost it, it was Ryland,
Yeah,
not me.
okay, whatever.
Right, I'm going to show you something with my ring, which is going to be infinitely less impressive, but there you go, we're going to try this. I want you to watch the ring, don't blink for a second, okay? All I have to do is snap. And when I do, my ring disappears, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll agree, pretty cool.
I knew you'd lose it.
Now, the problem is I can't give you the ring back because it's gone forever, never to be seen again. However, I want to compensate you. Even though it wasn't your ring and you stole my ring to lend me, I still want to compensate you. I'm going to compensate you by giving you access to my car for a day. There you go. I actually have the car keys in my pocket. Let me go and grab them. Here they are. There are the car keys. But you'll see something kind of interesting because I want you to see hanging right there on the car keys. Does that look familiar? It's my ring right there on the car keys. And that's Ring Flight Revolution. So there you go, guys. That's a performance of Ring Flight Revolution. It's incredible. There is no better ring flight on the market, and if you're wanting something to include into your everyday carry, which is just mind-blowing, this is the prop to use. You can get it directly from Prop Dog. Yeah, Ring Flight Revolution. It's absolutely amazing. So there you go, guys. That is the whole video. That is 12 routines that you can carry around with you anytime, anywhere. You can include them in your everyday carry, and you are good to go. Now, we are just scratching the surface with these 12 routines. There are another 12 that I could include into a second video. And in all honesty, as I've been going through this, I've been thinking, oh, what about that? What about that? I could probably do a third video on this subject as well. So now I'm throwing everything over to you. Would you like to see a follow-up video to this? Would you like to see another follow-up video? Please let me know in the comments down below. Also, what did you think of my trick selection? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you use any of these impromptu? Do you use any of these in your impromptu carry away from a gigging situation? And if you do, which ones and how do you find they go? I know the particular routines that you do as part of your everyday carry that I haven't spoken about yet that maybe I should check out before I do the other two videos. I would love your input. Leave a comment down below and I read all of them. And also, guys, if you want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, leave a comment down below. Thanks very much for watching the whole video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. I'm going to be here at 2 o'clock with a short, 6 o'clock with a live, and at 9 o'clock, it's a magic rant. So I'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.